2 weeks from inauguration, he hailed a new golden age for America. But the president-elect wandered far off script. From the election...
They're still counting the vote in some areas. Can you believe this?
...to justice.
Nobody's ever won so many cases as I have.
And the environment.
The windmills are driving the whales crazy.
Donald Trump has often been critical of NATO and used this platform to urge European countries to pay their bills, increase their military spending as a percentage of GDP.
I think NATO should have 5%, yeah. Well, you can't do it at 2%. I mean, at 2%, every country, if you're going to have a country in a regular military, you're at 4%. I think they should be, they're in dangerous territory. I think it should be, they can all afford it, but they should be at 5%, not 2%.
But with war raging in Gaza, a fragile peace in Lebanon and instability in Syria, his remarks on the Middle East will cause real alarm.
If those hostages aren't back, I don't want to hurt your negotiation. If they're not back by the time I get into office, all hell will break out in the Middle East. And it will not be good for Hamas, and it will not be good, frankly, for anyone. All hell will break out. I don't have to say anymore, but that's what it is.
He vowed to take control of Greenland, where Don Jr. touched down earlier and spoke to his father by phone.
The welcome was spectacular. It's pretty amazing.
Well, that's great. Well, you go have a good time, everybody, and we're going to treat you well. You know that, and just take care of yourselves.
The president-elect is refusing to rule out military or economic coercion in his pursuit of Greenland and the Panama Canal.
I can't assure you, you're talking about Panama and Greenland. No, I can't assure you on either of those two. But I can say this, we need them for economic security. The Panama Canal was built for our military.
He claimed the Panama Canal deal had cost Jimmy Carter the White House. The timing of his criticism unfortunate, as the late president's coffin was transported from Atlanta, Georgia to Washington, D.C. ahead of his state funeral later this week. Some might say this was vintage Trump, speaking off the cuff, or a negotiating tactic. But things do feel different this time. People seem resigned to the fact that he won the election and that they have to take what he says at face value. America is bracing for change, maybe more of it than expected.
We're going to be changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, which has a beautiful ring.
Donald Trump is back. The United States and the world holds its breath. David Blevins, Sky News in Washington.